you so much.
What do you need?
Superintendent's
They were at
report.
the table.
They were over there.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
Take a copy.
I will read that aloud,
That travel
so it becomes
copy?
part of the record.
We should.
I'm going, yeah,
are you
I'll read
going
it,
to?
yeah, I'll read it
Oh,
at the end
good.
of my report.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, okay, so, it's spring, yay. And we actually have spring weather. I'm very, very happy. I'm hoping for no more snow. That's a terrible four-letter word. We don't want to go down that road. Connecticut History Day always happens in March. We had to do it virtually this year. I love that event. I was not able to be a judge this year. It's the first time in like the last 5-6 years. I'm so proud of our students. If you have a chance, please look at some of their projects in the hallway. But students do extensive research on their own time for these history projects, dramatic reenactments, documentaries, research projects. They work very, very hard. This is the second year that our middle school students have participated. For a number of years, our high school students have participated. And we do have 6 THS students who will be advancing to the state competition on May 1st. Yay. And we have 1 middle school student already, which is fabulous. And this year's topic, John, just want to share with you, communication and history, the key to understanding. So I thought you'd appreciate that. So I thought that, you know, they usually do like a broad global topic that students really have an opportunity to research. And so communication, I think, is good, is key, is timely, certainly. So that was very, very positive. Our in-person for 6 through 12, I think, has been a success. We've had 75 to 80% of students in person at the middle school and elementary. There's a little trickle down because I think some of the older siblings going back to school might have been some babysitters. So then elementary, we got some more students there. And then
75 to 80% in elementary?
75 to 80% middle school and elementary. And then depending on the day, you know, a little bit of fluctuation there, and then 70 to 75% at the high school. I think that the students are really excited about being with their friends again, or more of their friends. And it's working out well. Even though the CDC did change the guidance from 6 to 3 feet, thankfully, that we are still at 6 feet during lunchtime in the CAFs, during our music practices, performances, those kinds of things, just to ensure safety. But we are moving forward, planning graduation prom, senior outings, end of the year events, certainly different than what we're used to, but as long as they're outdoors, I think we'll have a lot more flexibility than we did last year. So those dates are getting put on the calendar. So we're very excited about that. And it's Board of Education Appreciation. And so I did want to just read this, if you don't mind, so that people hear how much, I mean, just a thank you to all of you, because, you know, people think erroneously that you get paid to have all of this fun all the time, right? No, they're volunteers. They do this because they love it, because they want to be here, because they're dedicated. So I just wanted to read what was in their packets, because they were able to receive some nice TPS swag. March is Board of Education Appreciation Month. We want to honor all of you for providing vital service to our school community. Your dedication and advocacy for students keeps our district always striving for continuous improvement. You selflessly give countless and oftentimes thankless hours of public service to our entire community. This year, you have had to deal with even more complex issues, situations, and dilemmas. You have guided the district through COVID, preserved snow days to the glee of many of us students, persevered through budgets, policies, negotiations, and engaged in meaningful conversations about pivotal educational issues. Your time, effort, and dedication do not go unnoticed and impact the children of Torrington each and every day, helping to prepare them to become tomorrow's leaders and global community members. Many thanks for all you do, the staff and students of Torrington Public Schools. Thank you. Yay, all of you.
I thought I was getting paid.
Check's in the mail, Gar.
There you go. There you go.
That's right. Make it last.
5% note.
All right, so just happy
We'll give you a
birthday
travel
to
stipend.
Kim.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Sounds like you can hear us. Thank you. What a way to spread
I
your
was just
birthday.
gonna
Right now,
say, with all of us.
It's all good. I told you guys you'd like the swag though.
Yeah.
We do, thank you.
Office of Teaching and Learning update.
Do you want to sit here, Sue? I'll trade you.
No, I'll just stand. It's fine. I've been sitting for a while. So just really quickly, I know that there's a lot on the agenda, but just a little bit of an update. So in terms of professional development, we have the year-long plan that we've established. So you'll see this on this monthly throughout the year. The work continues with our administrators and our teachers on learning targets and embedded formative assessment. Before the end of the year, we will add one more component to that lesson planning grid. Also, we had an opportunity to send a team of 25 coaches and interventionists recently to an acceleration workshop that was hosted by the Center for School Change. We're going to also be able to run that again for our school-based administrators in June, and then in August for teachers district-wide. And that's a model to address the unfinished learning and the gaps that have been caused by this situation. So we're very happy about that. The curriculum work continues. We're still plugging along. English language arts 6th to 12th is nearly done. Social studies is running a close second. They're working on their vertical alignment right now. And the work is happening right now in elementary math, and we're kind of doing a backwards design elementary. We are working right now, actually, we begin our extended day for students next week. That's the beginning of the extended day program for the kids. So that's our first effort to address the learning gaps. And then we're working on planning for summer school as well. So letters have gone out to families, follow-up phone calls are being made. We still have folks that we're trying to do a little arm twisting to have them participate. And that's a K to 12, 2 to 12, grades 2 through 12 initiative. We at the high school, we have created a tier 1 intervention. So a gen ed intervention that's available to all students. It's called an Academic Resource Center, ARC. It is scheduled throughout the day. So it's available to kids every single period throughout the day. And we're currently staffing it on a rotating basis so that teachers have it as a duty. So we have it staffed by a STEM and or an ELA humanities teacher so that students can get additional support if needed. Right now they're scheduled in to receive that support. Next year, we'd like to have it be that, but also an opportunity for kids to just kind of access it as they would like to access it. It's actually getting really good reviews too. We've seen students who are participating in it right now really making some gains. We've had kids who were failing every course they're taking, and now we're seeing that that's not the case. So it's a great, they also help them with time management, organizational skills, that kind of thing. So it's been wonderful. Our winter STAR testing is complete. You know that because we shared the data at a recent SIC meeting. That data has been shared with everybody who needs to see it, and that information really helps us to inform our future planning, our lesson planning, make decisions about intervention, about kids who need to be challenged. SATs were actually today at the high school. We had a really good participation rate considering everything that's going on. We had to provide for remote testing and in-person testing. We are also preparing for the administration of the ASPA testing. That's the state summative assessment. The challenge around that is that the ASPA, which is administered in grades 3 through 8, takes place over 5 days. And we have a large percentage of our families who do not want to have their kids come into the building to take it. So we're trying to work that out, honestly. At this point, we don't, I mean, it's going to happen, but it's going to be a challenge. So
Because they don't normally happen during the day?
they always happen during the day.
These are the people that don't want to
Oh,
come.
the
Yeah.
other ones who are-
Yeah.
So the
still-
kids
So they have to
who
do
are
it
remote,
remotely.
Oh,
right,
got it.
and of those remote children, about 70% of our fully remote families want their children to take the test remotely. So,
Is that even a possibility?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, okay.
Is it fair?
Or, yeah, I mean, how do you even, you can't proctor, provide a proctor
Yep.
for.
Maybe our
for-
grades are
We,
up
we
this year.
shared these concerns.
I know you, I'm sure we'll see a bump in grades.
And,
I mean, it won't
Yeah.
really matter because.
The
it
state's
doesn't-
not looking
doesn't
at
count towards their
participation
grade.
rate this year? Am I
No, I
correct
meant
on
the
that?
result.
well, they
For
want
us,
they're
yeah.
gonna ask
Right.
for it, but they're not gonna.
They're not
dig
counting
Yeah,
it.
and
for
they,
it, correct.
right, they're not counting it, but dollars to donuts, they're gonna report it
They're gonna report
anyway.
it, right.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna
so
be out
when
there.
that comes out, right,
So it
we'll
might
we'll
not
just have
be
to share,
accurate, yeah.
right.
And then there's the
And that's our concern.
NGSS, the science assessment in grades 5, 8, and 11. That's only a one-day test, so that's one administration.
Right.
So those one and dones, are,
Easier.
they're not as challenging as the SBA is going to
Yeah.
be. And even bringing in our students who are remote, the 30% who are remote, but are willing to come in to take the assessment, we've got to find an opportunity for 5 consecutive days that's not going to disrupt everything else. But yep, it's going to work. Technology, Ally.
Hold on a minute.
Whoop,
Gary, did you have
sorry.
a question? on
Just a
something
couple.
else?
So at what point do we, I know some states are requiring kids to go back and some cities are, and I know we've talked about Hartford, or somebody's mentioned it. At what point do we require families to send the kids back? Or is that,
I don't think,
When the
It's-
executive orders lifted?
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
so it's when the
it's-
executive, order,
Yeah.
he's asked for another extension? Or is that?
Yeah,
didn't
he
Yeah.
did,
Mm-hmm.
he did, or he's going to.
Yeah.
Next year.
So,
Which is
maybe, well,
right, so we're waiting and seeing. Like I said, we are in communication in various forms with the state to tell them that we do not want to have that option there.
Yeah.
We certainly understand if students are immune compromised or there are
Yeah.
medical
Of course.
situations. However, and that's really the way the remote started, that it really was
Correct.
going to be a medical
Right.
exemption. So we're waiting to see what the state will, really what the governor's office will decide.
How about relative to how many kids want to participate in the after-school? Can kids opt out of doing anything and we're expecting the governor to waive the grading policy again this year? Is there any,
No, there's been no talk of that at all.
how do you force those children who don't want to participate, let's say, in the summer program, to participate? If they can't, if they don't qualify for moving on, let's say.
Right, we're working on
Yeah.
all of that.
So that's
Yeah.
to come.
That'll, yep,
Because New Britain did, I don't know if you guys saw the New Britain proposal, they did it publicly a couple nights ago. Steve Caterer texted me on it, but they're doing a 3-year clawback basically in terms of bringing kids back. They're bringing them up to level, but it's supposedly required. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but
we'll have a whole plan that we can lay out.
okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I do, just about the extended day. What is the goal of that with your secondary students who aren't mastery based, who are trying to get, past class to go on to the next class type of thing? Is that, like, if a student is failing at this point in the year, is the idea to bring them up to passing that class? Or is it more just, you understand what I'm asking? I don't know if I'm
Are you looking at passing grades or mastery of?
Right, if we're
content?
already almost through the third quarter
Yeah.
and it hasn't even started yet, if the kid is failing for the year, what is the hope, like, what is the goal of that extended day program between now and June?
the goal would be to do everything we possibly can to provide whatever supports we possibly can to children who might need that, right? And with
A 50
hope-
better than a 0 or a 70 better than a 50 or
hoping that
whatever the
that
number is
they could
to get them.
eke out, yeah.
Well, so if you have kids that are just numerically, it's impossible for them to pass the year by the time this program even starts. What is the goal of having them in the program?
Well, the children who have been identified, the students who are identified to participate in this program, were hand selected based on their circumstances. So my thinking is that if a child was just completely out of it, then they wouldn't be invited to participate.
How were they selected? Like what
They're-
criteria?
Based on where their scores are at right now, their test scores, their grades, their achievement, their performance. Yeah.
Meaning like low, or meaning that they're within striking distance, where if they just get
Yes.
this little bit of extra help, that might take them over the edge of to be able to pass the class for the year versus fail.
At the secondary level, yes.
And if I would imagine also that the students can continue on through the summer
Yes,
that to
Yes,
pass the
it's
class.
not an either
So it's
or.
not like,
so they can do
They can
now,
continue
they
the
can
class
do
through the
the
summer, right?
Saturdays
Yeah.
if we're able to get that going, if there's enough
Yeah.
willingness and interest in that. The summer opportunity, they could do all three.
so
Yeah.
essentially they can earn that credit by doing
I
all
mean,
that.
we're hoping that it's gonna be a credit recovery type
Yeah.
of a situation,
Mhm.
right? That's what summer school is, right? So this is just
Right.
getting a jump start on that.
Mhm.
Kathy.
So for the elementary levels, is that language arts and math or just?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, we've gotten a good response from teachers,
Yes.
which has
And
been
we-
wonderful.
Yes, and we were surprised, honestly,
Yeah.
because people are tired, but
Right,
they're willing to do this.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very encouraging.
Maybe they want to get away from their kids. They're tired of being home all day.
Their own children.
Just
Their
one
own
more,
kid.
more silly
Right.
question. ESBA, is that formerly known as SBAC?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
That's what
they
I thought.
changed.
Oh,
Why
it's
did
a
they
new name?
change it?
Yeah.
The new acronym?
Right.
Yes,
They just
well,
took off the C for some
Yeah.
reason.
They just took off the C.
they
Okay.
wanted to get away from the smarter
They were sick of
balance
that.
label, and now it's SBA, so who knows?
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Ally?
There's no,
Just run over
Any
here.
other questions on this before we move
Right,
to technology?
right, exactly.
Good job.
We gotta try to do one at a time
Yeah.
because it's hard for the people listening to
Right.
hear when everybody's talking. Any more questions for Sue before we go to Ally? Okay, Ally.
All right, so we utilize E-rate to fund most of our infrastructure. For this coming year, our E-rate contracts for category 1 and 2 have been completed. With category 2 this year, something I'm really excited about is we will have our own in-house infrastructure for our WAN, which builds the network to merge all our buildings together into one large network. So we'll be able to have full ownership of that for the first time and also be able to have much greater capacity across all buildings. So that's happening this fall. Really excited about that. Now looking into our future E-rate applications, that will really go hand in hand with the new building. Looking at what infrastructure we'll need for the existing buildings, but also what we're going to need for the new building. So we're essentially going to try a single pane of glass for everything to fit together perfectly, so that whatever happens in the existing buildings will align 100% with the new building. So it's going to be very exciting. If you recall, oh my goodness, it was last year. We got new copiers.
Yeah, and Jason did a good job.
With those new copiers, we implemented a code system so that every teacher has a PIN code, or really everybody in the other buildings, they have codes to log in. And we didn't do that to drive everybody crazy. There was a much greater thinking behind that. Number one, you can use the code to scan directly to yourself. But the biggest thing is everybody only has one single printer on their laptops. So they go to file print and they can go to any copier in the district and pick up their work and it prints on demand. What that reduces is a lot of waste because obviously every single time Murphy's Law, you're going to try to copy something on a specific copier, it's broken, which thankfully hasn't really happened with these. They've been phenomenal. And then, once the repair guy comes in, fixes the copier, it still prints out all your stuff.
Yeah.
So all these things have been eliminated. And so the system counts how many print jobs after 3 days get deleted because they were never actually printed. And you're looking at about $900 a month in savings of unprinted materials.
That's great.
Take that.
And then I want to shout out and say thank you to John, who helped me put a brand new power protection grid into our server room at the high school. So now when we lose power and the generator kicks in and that lag happens, our equipment will not fail. It stays up and running. And not only that, it sends a notification to both of us saying we just lost power at the high school.
Yeah.
And that way,
Even more
we can
important.
monitor fuel usage and all these things.
By the way, not a notification I want to get.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, that goes down routinely if there's a squirrel who happens to be playing with the
Yeah.
wires. So this is wonderful. So
That won't happen when the new building is because we're on the transformer where the apartments
The
are.
apartments are, right?
wonderful. Squirrelless.
So it won't still happen.
Because it's gonna be switched, right? We're gonna have our own.
Any questions for Ally? Moving right along. Laura, you're up.
I love your
Special education update.
Thanks. So my assistant just handed out my report.
We
Yeah.
PPT'd him as that.
So I'm gonna stay here. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I have a big mouth. I was a cheerleader at one point. So we've done this now for a month, the whole mask thing. I wanted to try to dig a little bit deeper into how we've done as a department. So I've included a few extra things for you this month. So I'm gonna try to go quickly, so don't take up too much time. If you have further questions, you can always call me, and I'm willing to go through everything with you. The first page, is our regular numbers. We're, pretty much staying right where we need to be. We remain below the state average, which is great. And we've also brought back a few kids that were doing homeschooling. So we're down to 7 IEP kids that are being homeschooled right now. Hopefully we'll be at 0 pretty soon. The next page, I talked for a little while about how we get referrals both from the school and from the parent. And I really wanted to look at if we were seeing a difference in that. And if you look at the data in the chart, we really are. So it's pretty interesting. And I wanted to explain why that is, at least what I think it is. So you can see that we've had almost twice as many parent referrals as school referrals. And then if you look at the number of those that we actually went to test on, only 54% of them were parent referrals and 81% of them were school referrals. When we've gone to evaluation on them, the ones that were referred by the school, 95% of the kids have qualified. As opposed to with the parents, it's about 50. So what I believe is happening there is not that we don't like parent referrals. I believe that what the situation is with the school, we are really working hard to incorporate some of these multi-tiered system of supports that we're really trying to build up. So Sue was just talking about that program at the high school that's offering those supports. So the concept is we provide supports to all students, not from special ed, but from regular ed. And then those that are not responding to that, perhaps there's a disability. So those are our school kids, but sometimes we get requests from parents to evaluate children. And, we'll talk about, well, maybe we want to try tiered interventions first, but sometimes parents feel it's in the best interest of their child to have them evaluated at that time. But sometimes I think that perhaps if we had tried interventions a little bit longer, we wouldn't have had to look to special ed. So I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you. Our outplacement rate remains below the state average, which is great. The other thing I wanted to make you aware of is I talk all the time about the numbers of students that we brought back. But what I haven't shared with you is the number of students that we've outplaced from the school. I haven't really pointed that out. And so I just wanted you to see the difference we've made over the past 2 years, because in 17-18, they took 21 children that were here in Torrington Public Schools and outplaced them. The following year, in 18-19, it was 33. That's almost one a week, if you think about it. And now, last year, we outplaced 7. And this year, we've outplaced 7. So those were children that we truly could not meet their needs here despite our increasing continuum, and we needed to outplace them. So I wanted you to see that, because that reduction too is talking to what you're seeing with our outplacement numbers, okay? The other data at the bottom, we're kind of status quo right now with kids coming and going. We have exited 31 from special ed so far this year. The next page, I think maybe last month, yeah, here.
Just one question on that. What was it like 3 years ago in terms of testing out? Was it happening at the same rate, or was it, well, that's, I do feel.
Oh, no, they were testing in.
I just wanted to make that
Yeah.
publicly, I
Yeah.
assumed that, but.
Yeah, you know, when we came here, we felt that there was probably some over-identifying going on because we were not doing as much as we are now with the multi-tiered system of support.
So I think budget, finance coming up and city council having reviewed already, maybe those numbers can be expressed. That data can be also shown, because that was the whole point of us asking for more money and asking for more again, was to make, to show those improvements,
Sure.
in my opinion. I mean, I'm not your boss, so.
So,
And that's definitely happened.
I knew it, I just wanted to have it shown maybe.
okay, the next page, I wanted you to have a little bit of a scenario. I think the last full board meeting, Nikki had asked about something with the numbers, because we had seen like declining numbers, but you know, like how did everything line up with staff and whatnot? So I just wanted to give you a typical scenario. So the chart shows how many kids is it? 7 different kids over a 2-month period that either came back or went out. And if you look at the cost column, we never really know where that cost is going to fall. It varies so greatly. I will tell you that every year there's about a 3% rise in tuition. That's the average. And that currently our average tuition for an outplacement is $80,000. Okay, so I wanted you to know that. In addition, our average transportation, if we took the total number of students that received that transportation divided by the total, it's about $18,000 per student. So that's quite a bit of money, you know, almost $100,000 per student. So I wanted you to see in the chart above, in that scenario, 5 students were brought back from outplacement. And so there's the savings that we brought back. However, 1 student came to us that had been hospitalized, was now released. It was a brand new program that we had to pick up, and you can see the cost of that 1 program. The other programs, sometimes our kids have to move. So they might be at a program, they're not being successful. So we might want to look at a different program. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more, but it didn't change our number. So that's the last child, the remaining 7th child. So if you look at that, despite the fact that we brought 5 kids back and only outplaced 1 new one, we still are paying $36,000 more.
Right.
So I just wanted you to be aware of that, just to kind of see it in black and
Puts it
white
in
or in
perspective.
red and green. And everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last section is, I just wanted to talk a little bit more. I really wanted to look at how we really did with our, the past year with the instruction and where I need to move next with our kids. Sue pointed out when she went over our whole district scores, that special ed, really kind of right from the beginning, our services didn't stop.
Right.
And the reason for that was because they had me like breathing down their neck saying, guys, we still have to follow an IEP. So we had to figure out a way to be able to deliver those services. So we picked up and started seeing kids pretty much right away. We knew we could not cover everything, but we felt it was important that we really focus on the goals and objectives on every child's IEP. By doing that, we were pretty successful with being able to avoid widening the gap. So if you look at the top, this grid, the first page, it's reading. So over to the right, the percentage of change, if it's 0, it means that there was no slide. Okay, if it's a positive number, we actually close the slide a little, close the gap. And if it's negative, the gap widened a little bit. So you could see at our K5, our special ed kids did well. You know, they really, the gap did not widen. They continued to make their progress. Unfortunately, we didn't make quite the growth that I would have liked to have seen, but at least our gap did not widen, right? And at the middle school and the high school, it did a little bit. So it's just, you know, making me, and Sue talked about this, like we really want to look at what does our instruction look like and how can we improve what we're offering to children to strengthen all areas. The second page is math. We didn't do quite as well in math. At the primary, we did. But you can see at the 4, 5, we really kind of struggled there. And so that really made me, I don't know why that's not pink. But that, I'm sorry, it's bothering me. But the middle school, that was our, not the middle, the 4, 5, that was our biggest decline. And so it's really making me look at what are we doing with our students that have math goals, you know, across the board. So we're really addressing that right now, but I just wanted to share where we are. My people, I feel like everybody worked, I mean, the whole district did, but they worked really, really hard to try to see the kids. Our social workers, as we said a million times, were reaching out to those kids that were not participating. So overall, I feel like we worked really hard to do the best we could during these difficult times. So I just wanted to share that.
Any questions? No questions?
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, as much as I hate to do this, I'm gonna ask the board members if they would mind moving this budget discussion till next week and schedule a meeting. I think it's too late to start getting into all of this. I'd like to incorporate some of the other things that we discussed earlier into it, and then we can have like a real look at the budget in a meeting that's just dedicated to the budget. I mean, if is anyone opposed, I just think we've already been meeting for 2.5 hours. We still have a lot of stuff on the agenda. I think we need to give it the time it deserves rather than just trying to rush through it. So we don't happen to have a meeting next Wednesday. Right, the expulsion is not Wednesday. No,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So is next Wednesday open for people at 5 by any chance?
Yeah.
Is 5 too early?
I'd rather start early.
Yeah, that's, I'm thinking we start earlier than we have a, does that work for you for work?
Yeah, I can, yeah. I'm good.
Okay, 5 o'clock next Wednesday, good for everybody? Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for considering that. Okay, ESSER 2 funds. I think we beat this to death.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
same as what we've
that's
done
better
the
if we
other
talk
night,
about it
and
next
everyone
Wednesday.
is
Yeah,
here. Okay, we've already.
yep, that's the same.
Monthly financials.
Okay, I can say that. Okay, so monthly financials are doing well. Overall, currently, we have an $848,198 surplus. We're also looking at some potential savings in electricity and gas for the year, but we won't have those final numbers just yet. But right now, it's trending that we are going to save some money. So hopefully next month we'll have more data. Yeah, that's it on monthly financials. If anybody has any questions.
Any questions?
It's good, thank you.
COVID expenses, COVID-19 expenses.
We are waiting for a fourth payment from the state. Fourth payment of our $656,108.
Any questions on COVID? Hey, John and Ed, the roof project completion, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the roof is completed. we want to file all the reports. Again,
Can we, hold on a second, I just want to clarify, it's just the flat part of
flat
the
part,
roof?
right, correct.
Because when people think, sometimes they hear the roof is completed, they think the whole roof is done.
Just the flat.
Just the flat part of the roof. Okay, thank you.
So we're gonna file all the reports once you approve, and we spent $619,000 out of $700,000. So we have the surplus, which the town, the city bonded for $700,000.
Mhm.
Any
So we
questions?
just need your, at the end, you have to approve,
Approve
so
it.
we can send the forms in.
Any questions on the roof project? All right, committee reports, budget. Might have heard enough from you guys.
Budget, yeah, the budget's going on, we're talking about it. And we'll talk again next week. So we're at 2.61% currently for next year's budget increase. So,
Thank you. Facility and Technology Committee.
I don't even remember the last meeting we had. Things are going well. John, you're
Nice
doing a great
summary.
job. John spent some time working on the, is it that?
The roof?
Is that what?
No.
No, he was working on
Lighting project.
Yeah.
the lighting projects and the stair treads, the ceiling.
Windows.
What-
Always
great.
windows.
How are the windows
Windows.
coming, how are the windows coming
The
in?
sewer, what?
How's the windows coming?
They're beautiful.
Did you, yeah, the sewer, we also have to get a price on
Yeah.
the sewer.
I just want to let you know, I wanted to do it on the Good Friday, but the Reverend and the Jewish business manager didn't get along, so we're not gonna do it on Good Friday.
That's probably a good decision. in terms of-
Yeah, it's-
Probably gonna do it on Saturday because we gotta close that street, so.
Did you choose somebody?
Tentatively scheduled for the Saturday after Good Friday.
Did you choose somebody you need to get a price?
Well, we have our contractor who does our plowing, who's a
Jasper?
contractor. So they're gonna do it, but we don't know the price, because you asked the question, it's 4 feet on our property, but 8 feet on the,
Into the street?
into the street. Yeah, so they gotta bring in one of those,
Shoring box.
yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
When did we discuss it? That was just this week, wasn't it? Or was that
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah.
It was this-
It was just
I
this
don't
week.
remember. It was Monday.
Yeah, I feel like that's not that long ago.
All right, School
Very
Improvement Committee.
School Improvement Committee meeting included a report on the high school's improvement plan, and that comprehensive report delivered by a lot of people seems to be pretty well put together. We also had a report on professional development from the 16th of February, again, well received and productive. We talked about the aftermath of COVID, and on the agenda for the meeting in 2 weeks, social promotion, the distinguished alumnus presentation, and possibly civic virtue as discussion topics, and whatever other reports might come up between now and then. Look forward to seeing you all, or many of you want to come in.
Thank you. Building Committee.
Yeah, we're finishing up the planning process, and on Thursday, we're gonna review the design options for the high school and the middle school.
Exciting stuff.
Mhm.
Exciting.
Yes, the designs,
Yes.
waiting to see them.
Yeah.
They've been very, SLAM has been very good. They've been listening to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think they'll come out with 2 options, and we'll see what it looks like on Thursday.
Do you want to add
Tomorrow.
the additional good?
Yes,
news
tomorrow,
that we got?
right.
At the lower parking lot?
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Yeah, we're gonna hand out, we got a letter from the town attorney, the city attorney, and they're saying that that property, the lower property, is ours anyway because we maintain it.
Wow.
So I'll hand out the
That's a
letter
great
on
win.
Thursday, and
Yes.
the options will cover that.
Are they going to officially gift it to us?
But they don't have to, the letter
The letter covers that?
covers that.
Oh, great.
So how about the equipment? Has that been discussed?
I'd
Okay.
rather not say that. but-
All right.
Yeah. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Oh, okay.
So that gives us a little bit more options.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
So that's great
Yeah,
news.
because we needed it to come in and and the options that we'll see will help us.
That'll
Be
be
great.
great.
Yes. So thank you to the city and
Great.
to the
Yes,
attorney for
definitely.
working with us on that. I think
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
great.
awesome.
I bring Mario with me because.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, he's your muscle.
Yeah.
He's home in the basement right now.
I know. Yeah.
All right, liaison reports.
Huh?
Does anyone have any reports for this month?
I
Okay,
do.
go ahead.
I do too.
I have Vogel. So one great part about March is that we don't have any planned days off from school. This allows us to have a better flow to our instruction and make for a productive time for our students. This year, March did bring a few unexpected building closings, but they were able to keep their instructions going remotely, and it was a smooth month. They also had some fun activities this month. Read Across America started off with a spirit week that was focused on reading. Each day was a different theme that they were celebrated by dressing up and reading stories. One of the themes was finding polka dots, and that was a challenge for a lot of the staff and students. Other themes were nonfiction, Button Day, and the principal's favorite, bring a stuffed friend to school to read. Each evening was topped off with a bedtime story, which was read over Zoom. Their first reader was Mrs. Lebomsky.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, she read almost 100 students. That's amazing
Wow.
participation.
Audience.
Wow.
A wonderful story about perseverance and how Humpty Dumpty handled getting back on the wall after his famous fall. This month, Wednesdays, their after school, so their PD time has been focused on using data to identify students that need extra support or extensions. So they're constantly looking at new ways to bring in data to assess what the students are needing. This really helps them to work on their what I need to know, their win blocks, and making that time more productive and excited for some new experiences.
Thank you.
Forbes is celebrating Music in Our Schools Month with special lessons by music teacher Ashley Hyatt. Students can share their top 5 songs via daily announcements, and they can cast their ballot in a Sousa March Mania contest. Also at the March staff meeting, teachers shared the #1 song the #1 song when they were in 5th grade. They're celebrating March is We Are Community of Readers Month. Each day this month, the daily announcements features a staff or student response to what are you reading, with a brief intro to their book. And speaking of books, the library media specialist Donna Merritt has organized a virtual book fair through the end of the month, and the books are shipped directly to students' homes. 4th grade student leadership sponsored a spirit day on St. Patrick's Day, promoting the wearing of green or dressing like a leprechaun. Lots of leprechauns, wee and tall, were sighted around the building and on our screens. We are delighted that our partnership with the New England Air Museum continues. 4th graders are enjoying virtual lessons taught by the museum staff and a virtual field trip. And many thanks to their SOAR grant, which fully funds the participation. Our ELL teachers are completing the annual Lost Links assessments for each of our ELs. The assessment of listening, speaking, reading, and writing must be done annually per state and federal regulations. The Forbes Equity Committee continues to meet monthly with a focus on staff awareness and understanding by sharing articles, books, webinars, and activities. They're in the midst of parent-teacher conferences, and at last count, about 60% of their parents had signed up for a conference, and progress reports are being mailed out on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Busy.
Armin.
TMS, Torrington Middle School. They had a spirit week with biking gear. They had team colors, decades, and a country day. PTO sponsored bingo night fundraiser, and it was very successful, and a lot of fun was had. They're looking forward to the warmer weather to get outside for PE class and mass breaks.
Thank you. Go ahead, Sue.
Southwest School, they are reopening their playscape on Friday, which they're all very excited about. They're in the process of, I think, the PE teachers in the process of preparing a video to show all the students on how to properly use it while maintaining COVID approved distance and things like that. And they are limiting it to 1 class per per session. So there won't be a number of kids out there on the playscape, but they're really excited about being able to get back outside. They are having a big success with the coaches that are in place. They assist with classroom instructions. They helped with the STAR testing. They work with them on the extended day program, and it's extremely helpful. They really enjoy having them in the school and want to keep them there like forever. Spirit Week for them this week. It started a little bit last week on St. Patrick's Day. Dr. Buchanan wore a full-fledged beard all day. It was like this bright orange leprechaun beard, and every time she talks, she sends out her morning videos, so she was spitting hair out there. It was fun to watch. She loved it. But this week they're
Oh,
doing.
look at it.
Yeah, this is up on the
Oh,
board.
there she is. I sent Allie some pictures to send. Thanks, Al.
You.
They have this month, that was Mustache Monday. Tuesday was Tropical Tuesday. They all wore tropical attire, and today was Workout Wednesday. And I really wanted to see what they were going to wear. I asked her to do like a Olivia Newton-John throwback. She wasn't really going for that. And they have their Rockosaurus Rex. He's a stuffed animal that they hide every night. He flies around the school, and kids spend every morning trying to find him. That's the big thing in the morning is trying to find Rockosaurus Rex. And they just introduced another one too, but I can't remember what her name is. Rock and Pebbles are jamming in our front lobby display case. I don't know what that one is. They do have some of the pictures that she sent are of the reading program. It's a reading wall. So everyone that sends in a picture, they get posted and hung up on the wall. So the kids come in every day and look
She
for
has that
someone that
picture,
they
yeah.
know. Yeah, look for someone that they know themselves, whoever it might be. They get really excited to see who's been put up there on the reading wall. It's like the Hall of Fame. They recently opened up their gymnasium for lunch seating, and it's given them the opportunity to spread out a little bit more. It's a lot quieter in both rooms, from what she said, and they're actually thinking about piping in music, like a relaxation type of like classical music, just to add some background noise. So that's going well. It's given them more room, and they enjoy that. This is something I thought was really a great idea. She's implemented a graduation ceremony for their fifth graders, which is, she's kind of gearing up for that now. Her position on that and her thought behind it is that 12th grade isn't what gets you to graduation. It's from day one, and each milestone should be acknowledged. So Robin donated cap and gowns to the school. So they all dress up in cap and gowns. She usually has pictures of them, the whole group of fifth graders. This year she's got to do one at a time. They have to be spaced out, the whole thing. But they'll all have their own special place on the graduation wall, which they're really excited about. And I thought that was a great idea because it really gives them something to work towards. And I think that's it. The reading wall that we talked about already.
That graduation is that's a neat idea. Are they doing that at Forbes?
Yes, they do have
That's
Forbes
so
as well.
cool. That's
Do
good.
they?
They share they dry clean or wash or whatever they do with
that's
the
the thing, 'cause
gowns.
I
and
asked
then
her if
they
she
give
wanted
them
to have like,
yeah,
I have
and then
cap
they
and
give
gowns at
them to
home.
the Forbes.
because they have to air them out and
That's right.
right.
You have to
So
like
that's the other thing with the pictures. That's why the
quarantine your gown.
Yeah.
Right. That's why the pictures are taking longer because they have to spread out how
Right.
they can wear the gowns.
Does anyone else have any reports?
I do. For the high school, I attended the school governance meeting which was back on March 1st now. So some of these things have already happened, but they're looking forward to in-person school starting again on the 15th. At that point, 550 students were expected to attend in person. So it sounds like that number may have even gone up, which is great. They were making plans to have advisory lessons on safety, new signage throughout the school, etc. Parent conferences are March 23rd through 25th. And at the beginning of the month, they also had a parents' night informational session. There was an NHS induction ceremony that went very well. It was done over Zoom, and there was actually a video of it on our district Vimeo account that anybody can watch. Social workers are continuing doing home visits, trying to reach especially students that are struggling with chronic absenteeism. Teachers and admin are working to get students to take better advantage of their academic period and to use that time to schedule the help that they need. One of the teachers shared that the students who seem to be struggling the most are the 9th and 10th grade full distance. They're looking forward to the PSATs, which were on the 17th, and the SATs, which were today, and then NGSS at the end of April. There was a student council talent show and also Spirit Week, which culminated in a virtual pep rally and class colors day. And now spring sports are getting ready to get started and are looking forward to hopefully having a full season.
Great. Thank you.
Ed Advance is still there. Actually, Ed Advance has been getting some of the same money in different quantities, obviously, that the other school systems have gotten. The rests in Connecticut are all school systems. And I talked to Jeff yesterday, and there are a couple of good ideas, things that could help Torrington and Danbury especially, he said, but you'll be hearing about that if you haven't already.
And I'm meeting with Jeff on Friday.
And
I'm meeting with Jeff on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Good. Yeah, that's, I guess, when he'll tell you about that.
Yeah.
Well, I had occasion to talk to him, and he just mentioned he had some good news.
That's great. Yeah, they're always good partners with us. We appreciate it.
And that's really about it.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, except that that advanced food service program, we got good press on that. In the Waterbury paper on the front page, in fact, and that's also
Nice.
They're really, cafeteria workers are unbelievable,
Yeah.
how they're working and getting food ready, and it's a great bunch of ladies and a couple of men.
And Becky's done a great job,
Yes.
Becky Tyrell, just coordinating all of that this year.
Great. Ed, do you have anything to report?
Yep, just briefly, the most important thing at the moment, I think, going on for us in the General Assembly is that there's legislation moving forward that would allow boards of education to hold on to any federal funds that they receive in relation to the COVID crisis through at least July 1, 2023. So that'll be interesting because we don't usually have money like that we can hold on to. There are some other little things going on. Proposals to fully fund equalization grants, which I didn't really know existed, and I don't know exactly what they are. But fully funding anything is something that appeals to me. And at the moment, anyway, the governor's recommendation for the ECS funds and alliance grants to be frozen has not moved through the process. That doesn't mean it won't. And I have to keep an eye out for the Appropriations Committee, and especially in the budget, because I think I've mentioned this before in the board, but the state of Connecticut doesn't really draft its budget in the same fashion that we have to. They kind of bounce proposals around, and then they emergency certify the final thing and vote on it like 36 hours later or so. So we'll have to watch that. But at the moment, anyway, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of appetite for freezing funds for education, but we'll see.
Thank you. And I just want to thank Ed for putting that together so that the Board of Education submitted their first official testimony regarding the bill. So thank you for that.
That was good. Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Appreciated.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Action items. So we're going to remove action item A for this evening. So entertain a motion to approve the monthly financials.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Entertain a motion to close roof project 143-0075RR. The Board of Education approves to close the middle school roof project 143-0075RR.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank God.
Entertain a motion to approve the Board of Education regular meeting minutes of February 24th, 2021.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor? Unanimous. Entertain a motion to approve the Board of Ed special meeting minutes of March 11th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve the committee meeting minutes in a bundle.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do we get that?
Then
It's in there.
It's in
It's
there.
on the
non-union
packet.
At the end.
That's at the end. We're not there yet.
Oh, I thought you said that it's H, I, and J.
Well, we're doing G.
Yeah, we're
G.
G.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're on G.
ABC.
I got you.
Yeah, the consent
Long night.
agenda was in the packet.
Thank you. H is after J.
Okay,
Thank you.
anyone wish
second
to
it.
second the consent agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Who was second?
Me.
Thank you.
It's at the end, very last page.
The last page?
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the non-union contracts in a bundle with the changes we discussed.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to instruct the board chair to work with the superintendent to finalize both the superintendent and assistant superintendent's contracts
So moved.
based on the guidance provided.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Items for upcoming agenda, we have monthly financials, budget, non-renewals will come in April for any staff.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're not likely to have any non-renewals in terms of just, you're saying in terms of just RIFs?
For budget,
Okay.
so we have to notify
The people who aren't.
the people who aren't
Mm.
tenured.
Yeah,
So we may want to discuss that put that as a discussion item simply because we may not want to do that this year because of just the environment where if you are putting forth notification to all our non-tenured, you may lose them because there are so many positions out there. I don't know that we would like to do that, but we can discuss it.
Yeah, we'll discuss
Get
that.
on the agenda for the meeting next Wednesday.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
that's something we don't have to do. We don't have to do a blanket
We're not
notification. to
required.
everybody.
No.
Well,
Oh,
But-
wait, yeah.
Wait,
We're required to
Kim's-
notify them,
Kim's
but we
saying-
aren't
Kim's
only
gonna,
if we're thinking of getting rid of it.
Correct.
Kim is gonna, I think, tell us. Go ahead.
Do you want me to clarify?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
please.
Yeah, so statutorily, if we have to lay off anyone for budgetary reasons, we have to notify them before May 1st. So many districts engage in the practice that we've done, which is that they notify all non-tenured teachers that, they're not getting a contract until the budget's adopted because of the timing of our budget adoption and approval process. So it's kind of a precautionary measure. That is the reason why we do that. In the instance that we're in right now, if we're fairly confident that we're not going to be cutting any of those really crucial positions that we know we need, there's not really a benefit to having to do it.
Yeah, the
So it's really about precaution is why many districts engage in that practice, but not every district does that practice every year. It's a practice that we've done in Torrington and about half the districts in Connecticut do it. So it's not uncommon, but not every district notifies every non-tenured teacher every year.
So just this year, I think it's important to discuss because we're in such a tenuous situation. We don't want to necessarily lose our folks because there will be so many opportunities out there, but we can discuss
Let's
it more
move it to school
Wednesday.
improvement.
School improvement, you got it.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else for the April
Jealous,
agenda? All right, comments for the good of the order. We'll start with Ed.
Thank you.
Nothing. Marissa.
One of these days, she's gonna say something.
Kim.
I'm good, thank you.
Armand.
Just thank you, everybody. Just a lot of hard work going into everything, and I think we're starting to come out of this, knock on wood, and things are looking better.
Allie.
Thank you and happy birthday, Kim.
Sue.
Great meeting. Lots accomplished.
Ellen.
Thank you for the swag.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For the
Yeah,
swag.
Great meeting.
I think Ed needs his swag, but you'll have to get it next time, Ed.
That's right. You have to pick up your swag, Ed. We got a bag for you.
Gary.
All right.
Just what everybody else said tonight.
Same here.
John. Nikki.
Thanks,
Kathy.
good meeting, thank you.
Sue.
Many thanks to our board. We really do appreciate you. Difficult job.
Happy
Laura.
spring.
John. Ed.
Yeah, just to let you know, we got a call from Ocean State Job Lot, and we're picking up 2 pallets of wipes tomorrow.
Oh,
We're gonna
nice.
half them
That they
go-
donated,
One
yeah,
pallet's going to
nice.
the high school, and one pallet's going to the middle school.
Wow.
Nice.
So all I have is I want to really hope that our staff in the buildings and our staff at central office take some time that week of April vacation to regroup and
Yeah.
spend some time with their families, well-deserved, and doesn't work that whole week. So that would be my hope for everyone for April vacation. So, that's it.
Flights are cheap right now.
There you go.
All right, that's it. So wrap, motion to regular future meetings. So we'll be adding a meeting next Wednesday, special meeting of the full Board of Education at 5 o'clock, specifically for budget. All the other meetings. That's it. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.